welcome to ClearCast, Dhimant. Tell me a little bit about your journey in the ad tech space.
So I started my edtech journey almost 15 years back in 2010 with Yahoo. And I would say that those days were very exciting because it felt like we were building the plane while we were flying it. Because we were constantly adapting new technologies and trends. And in the last 15 years, I worked on a number of different ad tech products. So I worked on email marketing platforms, I worked on demand side platform, data management platforms, pre-bid data products, and also the measurement platforms. And the most recently, I've been working with a company called IQM, the head of product from last 3 years. IQM is a DSP demand side platform tailored specifically for regulated verticals. So here my focus has been on creating a platform that not only drives results for our clients, but also aligns with complex regulatory standards.
From what you said, you have been associated with this industry for quite a bit of time.
Yep.
And when you say that IQM is a vertical in itself, and then it is complex. So could you give us an overview of your company and the specific services it provides?
Sure. So IQM began its journey in 2014 as a political first media buying platform. And over the years, we have built a proven track record of success in the political vertical by delivering measurable results and earning trust of our clients. So now we are building on this strong foundation. We want to replicate the success of political vertical into other industries. So today IQM operates as a demand side platform specializing in sensitive and highly regulated verticals, mainly political, healthcare, and cannabis. So our mission is to empower advertisers to reach their desired audiences in most regulated verticals. So for example, if a political advertiser want to reach certain type of voters, we help them. If a cannabis advertisers want to reach certain type of audiences who buy cannabis related products, we help them to reach their audiences.
Got it. But then why do you say that it is restricted to cannabis, political, and not other areas? There are a lot of other sensitive areas, verticals also, right? For example, it could be crypto could be one. So what are your views on that?
That's correct. So we are slowly expanding into other verticals. So like in the last 10 years, IQM worked only on the political domains for first 8 to 9 years. We achieved success there and now we are replicating into other industries. So we started with healthcare and cannabis and other industries will.
How do you place this with respect to a regular DSP, which is into non-sensitive verticals? Are the CPMs very different in your kind of an area, or it is hard to find this kind of an audience for you? Because when you say sensitive vertical and looking at the privacy regulations and inputs, people are consent platforms. You just cannot reach anyone and everyone with respect to these products.
Besides CPM, right? So CPM plays its own role. Like as you target more niche audience in any vertical, you will have a higher CPMs. And CPMs do differ in these verticals as well, but it is based on how broad or niche audience you are targeting. And outside of the CPMs, like few of the other things I would like to highlight will play a critical role in working in a sensitive verticals. So one thing, as I said before, is compliance with legal and ethical standards. So we need to understand that each vertical has unique regulations, and these regulations also vary by region and also change frequently. So DSPs who operate in this vertical need to make sure that they stay updated with all the legal standards all the time, and ensures that all the campaigns they run adhere to these guidelines. Handling sensitive data is also a big challenge because oftentimes DSPs come across handling PII data, and we need to make sure like we follow proper or robust data encryption methodologies. We do de-identification, we do secure data transfer, and we need to follow all the legal regulations for the data processing for handling such a valuable and sensitive data. Inventory is restricted because not all publishers are open to serve ads from cannabis or healthcare or political to their inventory. And we also need to make sure like our clients, that advertisers will get desired reach and will also target high quality inventory and will target high quality audience as well. So we need to make sure like both parties will have win-win. They will get desired reach and the quality will be high, as well as the publisher should be open to serve this kind of ads onto the platform.
You know that brand safety is a very important thing for brands also, and for now publishers also. The hammer is kind of coming down with respect to your vertical especially. Do you see any brand safety challenges with publishers?
Yes, we do see brand safety challenges, but I mean, because I worked in other verticals as well, like these kind of challenges are not like differentiated than the other verticals. And advertisers do have a requirement to target certain brand safe inventory, and the logic and the technology and the algorithms should be same as other
Right.
verticals.
Right. No, in your case, I mean, especially the reason I asked this question is that you say you target your brand could be a political team or a political party,
Yes.
and an example could be targeting potential voters. Right. Now, there could be a brand suitability challenge here also, right? That a certain publisher may or may not allow political campaign ad to run next to the opposite party publisher.
Yep. Yep.
It may not be allowed. So how do you tackle those challenges? Do you do a run kind of a campaign which goes to all of them and then they decide whether to pick it up or not, or you have a select private marketplace which is kind of embedded into your DSP and you reach out to them?
So we solve this multiple ways. Like one, you mentioned private marketplace. So we do have private marketplace that PMP deals. So we filter out certain deals that allow this kind of ads. That's number one. We also support PG campaigns, like programmatic guaranteed campaigns. So we know that we are just a mediator and advertisers can directly deal with the publishers they want to target. So we support them. We do use external third party pre-bid tools that make sure that the ads have been served in a brand safe environment. We do use certain tools that will make sure that the ads have been served follow to certain guidelines. Like we make sure like the ads are not deep fake ads. We make sure that the environment on which the ad has been serving follows to the brand safety guidelines. We do use third party apps for that. I work deeply in these areas. I firmly believe that it's not a responsibility of one player. Like it's an industry problem and all the players cooperate in terms of tackling this problem.
Right. No, absolutely, I agree. Have you seen any unique challenges that overall DSPs face in supporting sensitive verticals? Anything very unique you have observed?
The restricted inventory is very unique than the other DSPs, because other DSPs would not face this issue while serving other campaigns. But for sensitive verticals, we do face that. Handling sensitive data is one kind of unique challenge. Not many companies work with the PII data, so we need to follow certain guidelines. And the third, as I mentioned, like each vertical has its unique regulations and they vary by region. So each region has unique compliance requirements and they also change frequently. So as a DSP, we need to make sure we stay updated and we ensure that all campaigns we run adhere to these guidelines.
And your DSP, do you serve only the US or you have advertisers across the globe?
We do serve ads across other regions. US is our number one focus and like major business market. The secondary market we have is LATAM. So we do serve in some Caribbean and South American countries. And the third market is Asia Pacific market, APAC.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know you were in APAC as well. That's good to hear. Now, what trends do you expect to kind of shape the future of ad tech in regulated verticals?
The future of ad tech in regulated verticals will be shaped by many transformative trends. And those trends will be primarily driven by advancements in technology, evolving regulations, and shifting consumer expectations. The first would be increased focus on privacy first advertising. So we all know that in the last few years, we came across new regulations like GDPR and CCPA. And we are going to expect more such regulations in near future or maybe distant future, but in the next few years. And we do see that advertisers and all the players into the ad tech need to follow this regulation. So focus on privacy first advertising will definitely increase, and all the players need to adhere to these regulations. There will be more technologies around it, there will be more solutions around it. The next I would think about is advanced identity resolutions. So we did see like number of ID graphs started getting more and more adoptions in the last few years. And still I see that there is a lot of scope of improvement, especially for deterministic ID graph and probabilistic matching. These solutions will help regulated verticals like politics, cannabis, healthcare maintain precise targeting without compromising privacy. As behavioral targeting faces more restrictions, contextual targeting will gain traction. So advertisers will focus on doing more and more contextual targeting to get the desired reach and target the desired audiences. And focus on transparency and accountability will increase. From customer point of view, they do want to know each and everything we do with a very transparent manner, and they do want to have a very fair understanding on ad fraud, brand safety and viewability measurement as well. So focus on these technologies as well as transparency will increase.
And I always wanted to ask this question. I think it's a very pertinent question. We have seen the cookie kind of coming, going, and again coming. So, what are your views on that? I mean, we thought that it's almost gone, and then you saw this ID graphs coming and ID solutions coming in, and now suddenly we hear that kind of Google has stepped back, and now it's all okay. But now there's a lot of new things which have come around the cookie. And in your space as a sensitive vertical DSP, I'm sure cookie would be playing an important role for you too.
Before Google announced that like they are going to continue with the cookie, I mean, we were also worried about like what will happen to many of the targeting features that we have, because they are based on the cookie, and what's going to happen to that. And we started preparing ourselves in the cookieless world. Like we started focusing more on the contextual advertising. We started using Google Sandbox APIs. We started doing a few other things to make sure like our targeting will be as effective as before outside of cookie as well. But after that, Google said that they are going to continue with cookies. So cookies will never deprecate. Like, it's very impossible to deprecate cookies right now. Without cookies, ads will not exist, and without ads, internet will not exist. So cookies are going to stay. But yeah, there are going to have more and more restrictions around it, the way we use cookies, and we need to prepare ourselves for it. So we need to prepare ourselves for a cookieless world. We need to start preparing for using those IDs provided by third parties. We need to start ourselves for doing more contextual advertising. We need to start ourselves for making advertises as effective as possible without using the cookies.
But as you said, right, it's not going away, and but more restrictions can come around it. So what are the kind of restrictions you see around the cookies?
First party restrictions will never impact, because first party restrictions will always be available with the advertisers, right? And if they want to target those users, they can always send those audiences to us, and we can make sure like we can target those users. There will be restrictions around third party. Like we all know that certain browsers do not support third party cookies, so we cannot target or do effective attributions in those browsers. There are some challenges in the app environment as well. So open web is the only place where we do more effective targeting as well as measurement and attribution, because the third party cookies are available. If there are more restrictions, like if users do not share more third party cookies around it, if there are concerns like more regulations on how we use the data, how we handle the data, how we process the data, how we store the data, then we need to make sure we follow or adhere to those standards, and there will be more restrictions around using it, and more restrictions around making it effective for the advertisers who want to target users in a very precise manner and want to achieve the results.
I think contextual advertising will start playing a very important role, because that will be very compliant to privacy, that will be very compliant to consent, be very contextual to the user, so the user doesn't find advertising as an intrusion, rather they kind of works with it. Now, I had a very interesting section I wanted to speak to you about. I mean, and we operate in that space, so I want to hear your views on it. I know that you have been on both sides of the table, You have
Yep.
been on anti-fraud side of the table also, and you have been, now you are of course running a DSP and you are a buyer. So what has been your experience in fraud detection, media measurement, and brand safety, viewability? There are a lot of areas in ad tech. You have seen this through completely yourself. You have probably built it also. So what are your views on this? Very happy to hear this.
I have had the opportunity to work on both sides of the coin when it comes to ad fraud, brand safety, and viewability. So on one side, I led the development of pre-bid products. And I mean, when I think about pre-bid products, I think of saying like an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And pre-bid product works exactly the same way. Like they prevent bad ad placements before they even happen. So I built those products in the past. I made sure that pre-bid products provide ad fraud detection, brand safety targeting, and viewability targeting to DSPs and SSP platforms. So we provide pre-bid targeting segments of ad fraud detection, brand safety, and viewability to DSP and SSP, so they can do effective targeting. The trust and transparency will be maintained in the ad tech. And on the other side, now I've been working on the DSP platform where I'm a buyer of these segments. Running my campaigns, I use the pre-bid ad fraud data, I use the brand safety and viewability data, and I make sure that advertisers get desired viewability, serve ads in a brand safe environment, and do not see much ad fraud into their campaigns.
Now you see a development of a lot of metrics. So you see attention as a big category now. People are The advertisers specifically are looking at attention metrics, which is viewability plus plus. So the user is looking at the ad, looking at the viewport. Is he attentive, or is he or she attentive or not? So what do you think about these metrics? Will these metrics keep evolving? Will we see a new wave of metrics coming in, or that's it? We have it all.
I mean, I don't want to say a wave of new metrics, but yeah, definitely advertisers want to make sure that they target the right audience and they get the enough ROI. And outside of, let's say, the measurable ROI, which means sign up or buy products or fundraising, or outside of that, the best way to measure ROI is like how many people view their ad and understood the message that they want to convey to their users, right? And that is the best way. So initially impression was there, then we started seeing that people are not having their eyeballs on all the impressions they see on the web. So then viewability come into the picture. Now we say that even though we say that the ad is viewable, but people may not have seen this, because viewability does not mean people have noticed it. Viewability means there is an opportunity for the people to see that ad.
Right.
Now we see that even though we have a viewability, people may not have seen that. So that's why attention metrics came. And now, I mean, as we see like more trends toward it, we may see more metrics around it. I don't want to see a wave of metrics, but this is like the best way to give an ROI to an advertiser.
So the reason I said wave of metrics is that we also see there is a push for sustainability. So there are some brands which I have kind of interacted with. We're looking for options or routes in the entire ad flight, which is very carbon friendly, which has the lowest carbon credits, which is not, which is very green. So
Yep.
green kind of campaign. So that was another thing which I saw. So do you see that happening in your vertical, or do you see that it'll take a few years to kind of catch up on that?
I haven't seen much traction around that in my vertical, but I did see the traction in the ad tech overall. Like I seen many, especially big brands want to make sure they serve ads in a brand safe environment as well as in a carbon safe environment, I would say. They don't want to waste much carbon emission. When they want to serve an ad, and if someone can provide these metrics, that's valuable to their overall brand's messaging. So that will be valuable to especially big brands as of now. But yeah, this I believe will stay and will gain more tractions as we move towards more carbon friendly world.
Now I'll come to want to touch upon a very interesting topic, which is of personal interest to me also, and I think everybody around is also very interested in this topic. So how is AI currently shaping the ad tech landscape, particularly in programmatic advertising? I mean, you can talk about the current stuff which you see, and what do you foresee in the future, say 2025 and onwards? We have been seeing AI kind of galloping forward from 23 to 24 where we are right now, and I'm sure it is going to change in 25. So what are your views on this?
I would like to start with planning in advertising. We have seen more audience segments or behavioral based audience segments so far. A user has done some action online or been at a certain place offline. Based on this behavior, the user is a part of certain audience segments and been targeted for certain ads. However, with the AI approach, now we started seeing more and more AI based segments. So AI based segments means they don't take just the behavioral into account, but they do see other aspects like preferences, intent, past patterns, and this will make the segment more interesting as well as more effective for advertisers. Another use case in the planning is a planner use case. So when a trader or when an advertiser plans their strategy, they do want to see the reach and impressions they are expecting to get around it. They do want to see the precise forecasting numbers, and almost all programmatic players have some kind of forecasting, but with the help of AI they can make this planner more effective and more accurate. The next, I would like to talk about some of the execution related use cases. So almost all players in the programmatic landscape do have certain kind of an optimization. Talking about bidding optimization, dynamic creative optimization, or even ad fraud detection through AI. But I do see that AI started playing a key role here in terms of like AI will shape these use cases or shape these features in a more effective, more accurate, and it will help advertisers reach their desired audience in the more effective manner with the right price, with the right message.
I mean, I think on one side, AI is going to shape it in a positive way. It's going to help you narrow down to the right audience, the right message, in fact, the right technologies to kind of optimize it, right? From keyword optimization to bidding optimization, all of that. But I also think that AI is on the other side too. There could be websites created with a lot of AI content, AI generated images, AI generated videos as we go forward in 25 or 26. And you know that there's a way these sites kind of make their way inside the supply chain, and they become potential sellers of inventory. And if this happens, and this could, since it is AI involved, this could happen at a large scale. And you think that it could be a problem for DSPs like you if there is fake audiences are generated using deep fakes, using deep fake content, all of that, and that too in volumes. Do you see that happening?
I do see that happening. I do see that quality inventory is a issue or concern, and that's why players like you, ClearTrust, exist. I did see that behavior in the past as well, and it's I always feel that it's a cat and mouse game, like in ad fraud creation using fake audiences, fake websites, AI. They will always find new technologies or try. They will always try new technologies to make sure that their content is recognized as ethical and genuine as possible. And players like ClearTrust and other players in the industry, we need to make sure like we need to identify all the patterns and the way they create these fake websites, and we need to make sure that advertisers will not waste their dollars on targeting this AI generated website. So like there will be advancement in the both the sides, and AI will play a key role. We need to make sure that like we always stay ahead one step of fraudsters, just to make sure like we help advertisers and we help overall industry to make the industry safer and better place.
Absolutely. Bang on, actually. Bang on.
So, in the last couple of years, we have seen more buzz around generative AI and LLMs. And I mean, this LLMs are started playing key roles in many other industry, and tech is not an exception. So in advertising, and especially in programmatic advertising, I started seeing some products around LLMs. So I mean, I came across some products in which trader or an advertisers can create a campaign, can do optimization, can generate a reports by just talking to a chatbot without do do anything manual and any on the platform. And I believe that this kind of products will evolve as well, and we will see more adoption of these products in the industry.
Right. I also completely agree with you. This is happening, and this is only gonna get um, more sophisticated, more self-serve, and we keep on hearing this term, right? SaaS, software as a service. I think with AI, it's kind of becoming service as a software. So a lot of things are gonna happen here for sure, for sure. I mean, I also want to. I mean, we are coming to the last section, but I also wanted to understand. We have a lot of audience from brands, agencies, exchanges, DSPs, networks, especially publishers, and in terms of leadership and innovation, I would like to hear your views on what do you think the leaders in this programmatic ecosystem are going to do. How will innovation take place, and what are your two bits for all the people who will be listening to this podcast, so that they are more informed and they can also think of kind of innovating at all points in time.
So Einstein said that I have no special talents, but I'm passionately curious. And I believe this is the very fundamental thing of innovation. So when you think of innovation, curiosity is necessary, and you should always be curious. And how we can take this in our daily lives in edtech is like staying aware of the industry's trends, exploring emerging technologies, and engaging in continuous learning. So I do this for myself, and wherever I go, I must foster this for my team, that you should always curious, you should always learn new things. And if you want to innovate something, this is the very fundamental thing of innovation. Second, I believe that innovation should always serve a purpose. So it's always about solving a real life problem or addressing a gap into the market. So necessity is the mother of invention, and I see that play out in how impactful innovation often emerge. So if a solution doesn't address a real world problem, it's just a noise. And we should always focus on building a thing that truly makes an impact. I would like to add one more point, that I embrace the idea of trial and error, especially with the lean product development approach or an MVP approach. I believe in fail fast, learn faster. So you should always try a new solution. You should always solve a real life problem with a new solution, and you should always build a basic version around it, launch it, and test it into the market. And as you get more feedback, you
Yeah.
can improve based on that, or you can pivot around. So if you do that, you make sure that you are not over committing to a single idea, and at the same time you are quick enough to learn, you are iterating, and you are ensuring that you are always going in the right directions. So yeah, I truly believe in all these aspects, and innovation will happen if you follow all of them.
This was just brilliant, Diman, because in today's world there are so many new skills which are coming for people to learn, and it is changing almost every day. Especially folks in the working in brands, digital marketing teams, media buying, media trading, they are also often confronted with this challenge. Hey, there are 5 new tools in the market now. What do I do? Should I go to that tool? Should I kind of integrate it? And I think, as you correctly said, constant learning, uh, failing fast, trial and error, all these elements are very important for us folks in this industry, in whichever capacities we are working on, because that is only going to help us reskill ourselves, upskill ourselves, and make sure that we are on track. We are embracing new technologies also, but at the same moment we are innovating as well. I
Yes.
think that was totally bang on. I think with this I come to the end of the podcast, and I would like to thank you for taking time from your
Well, it's my
schedule
pleasure to be here.
and then spending time with us. So, guys, this was Dhimant from IQM, and I think I mean he is an accomplished person in the ad tech space, right? From both the sides, from media buying as well as fraud detection, and he has been in this space for more than 15 years. He has seen it all. He has done a lot of things. He has He understands the value of innovation. He understands how things are supposed to be taken, things are supposed to be built. He has built products. So there's a lot of experience sitting right here with you. And I would like to again thank you for coming on board for this. And we'll look forward to kind of interacting with you, engaging with you, and brainstorming with you. Thank you so much.
Well, it's my pleasure to be here, and thanks for inviting me. And yeah, I wish you all the best. And yeah, let's connect.